and they're trying to just give answers that they think people want to hear. So even though Donald Trump might say the wrong thing at the wrong time, at least you know it's coming from a genuine place. So he's not a professional liar.
It's very relatable. You know, we're business owners, he's a business owner. It's just, yeah, he feels like a friend.
Well, I love Trump. I think he will do amazing things for the United States of America. He did before. I believe he's going to win. I think God's going to prevail. I don't think a man that they try to take his life twice, he's got a purpose. And it's good against evil right now, because what the principalities that we are fighting with all these horrible ideologies that they're trying to create.
7 days, everybody. We have 7 days until Election Day, next Tuesday, November 5th. And the Harris and Trump campaigns have been making their final push, their final statement to get you to come out and support their candidacy. Donald Trump, he even went back to Madison Square Garden this past weekend in New York. Now, I don't think the Trump campaign is under any illusion that they are going to, that they're not going to win New York City. But he did go back. He had a huge rally at Madison Square Garden. You've probably heard a little bit about it.
Nobody's ever seen anything like, I don't think anybody has ever seen anything like what happened the other night at Madison Square Garden.
You were right there by a wide open border. Where are my proud Latinos at tonight? You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many of them. It's absolutely incredible.
The love.
Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this.
The love in that room.
Can you imagine Kamala Harris performing a random, kind, generous act like that? Never, never, ever. In fact, she is the devil, whoever screamed that out. She is the Antichrist.
Politicians that have been doing this for a long time, 30 and 40 years, said there's never been an event so beautiful. It was like a love fest.
It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies, too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country.
An absolute love fest, and it was my honor to be involved. And
cool black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that? A lampshade? Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm just kidding. That's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome.
You just heard comedian Tony Hinchcliffe. He is a podcaster, and he has been all over the news about a lot of the statements that he made at that Trump rally and offended a lot of people. And Trump came out today and just said it was a love fest. I'll let you determine whether or not it was a love fest. But here's the comment that Tony made that's really been getting a lot of attention.
There's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
That's right, everybody. He called the entire island of Puerto Rico a floating garbage patch. I don't even understand some of this humor on the right. I've been to Puerto Rico several times, and it's a beautiful island. The beaches, the history, the architecture. So he wasn't talking about the actual physical island. A lot of Puerto Ricans in the United States are taking offense because they interpreted that to mean that he was talking about the people.
Lawmakers all over the country reacting today. Now New York lawmakers weighing in. Here's longtime Puerto Rican Congresswoman Nydia Velázquez speaking just moments ago. Let's listen.
He claims that he loves Puerto Rico. I say So, Congressman, last night, right here in New York City, your hometown, Donald Trump held a packed rally at Madison Square Garden, and a number of speakers used downright racist and offensive language, no more so than the so-called comedian who said that Puerto Rico was an island of garbage. Can you just give us your reaction to what you heard last night, just hours and hours of frankly, hate, and what, frankly, how it could electrify this electorate?
Well, there's a couple of things. As you mentioned, this was a hate rally.
Let's be clear, politicians in Pennsylvania, politicians in Florida, Republicans, they're wildly trying to scratch back and apologize and move away from that. Mika, in any other political world, in any other political reality, after something like that was said, Democratic politicians, Republican politicians before Donald Trump on this level, they would have all condemned the hate speech. They would have all condemned the attacks against Puerto Ricans who are American citizens. They would have all done that.
And everybody, with just 7 days left, this is such an unforced error. And the reason that this is such an unforced error is because the Puerto Rican community is not a small group of people. He had this event, remember, in Madison Square Garden in New York, which is right next to where? Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a battleground state, and you might be thinking, well, so what? What does that mean? Take a look at this.
Pennsylvania, you remember the Commonwealth. Joe Biden won it by just 81,000 votes in 2020. Donald Trump won it by 44,000 votes in 2016. So you get the idea. It's really close in Pennsylvania. Okay, there are around 600,000 by some counts, 600,000 Latino voters, I'll put an L right there, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Around, by some counts, 300,000 Puerto Rican voters in the state of Pennsylvania, the third highest Puerto Rican population in the entire country. You will notice one thing about these two numbers here. They're both way bigger than the margin in Pennsylvania the last two elections. They are a key voting bloc in the Commonwealth.
So who cares what the lying media says, right? You can't trust CNN. You certainly can't trust MSNBC. They're all far left. They're just piling on. I'm sure the Puerto Rican community is not offended. They can take a joke, right?
Convicted Trump didn't say the words that were said at his rally, but it doesn't matter because it was his rally.
Donald Trump has got to go! Hey, hey! Oh!
This afternoon in East Harlem, a who's who of Puerto Rican federal, state, and city leaders held a news conference to condemn the comments uttered Sunday night. Comments made at a rally designed to gain supporters in a tight presidential election. Comments that could backfire in a key battleground state.
So, you know, he made a calculated error yesterday. Basically, he said goodbye to PA, to Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, we have 450,000 Puerto Ricans.
This is about human rights, civil rights, and this is about my people, my mother, my grandmother who died after Maria. This is about our people who have suffered for way too long.
He has shown us time and time again that he doesn't value us, that he doesn't value our vote, that he doesn't respect us as people.
So you see that reaction, but I did a little bit more of a deep dive. I actually got some, I guess you call them X's instead of tweets now, but I got some notifications from X, and there were a bunch of people from the Latino community who responded on X, and they're not offended. As a matter of fact, take a look at just a couple of these tweets or X's that I found. I wanted to share these with you. The first tweet that I saw is from Sasha Lee. It reads, "I'm Puerto Rican and I can take a joke. My vote was with Donald Trump before tonight and it's still with Donald Trump after tonight. I'm not the only one. Hashtag MAGA, hashtag Latinos for Trump." Let's take a look at a second one. This is from Insurrection Barbie. "When the economy is trash in the United States, it's even worse than Puerto Rico. When food prices are high here, they're even higher in Puerto Rico. So yes, I am Puerto Rican and voting for Donald Trump. And then this third one was just from a random poster, Luis Gomez. He asked the question, is Puerto Rico a floating pile of trash? Over 17,000 people voted at the time that I screenshotted this. 74% of people said yes, and 26% of people said no. So we're down to 7 days before we're going to find out the answer to this very, very interesting question. Was this unforced error that happened at Madison Square Garden at Trump's rally on Sunday, is that going to be the thing that derails him in states like Pennsylvania, in these battleground states? Or are we going to have a larger number of people who say it's just a joke, you're making a big deal out of nothing? Are the Democrats and are the progressive left-leaning media overplaying their hand? Or is this something that we need to be concerned about? Do we need to be concerned about not necessarily the fact that Donald Trump told the joke, but the culture of his campaign allowed for this comedian to get up and tell this type of offensive, present this type of offensive material? Is that the thing that we need to be worried about? Is this a precursor or a prelude of what a second Donald Trump term will be like? Are we making a big deal out of nothing? Hey, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, like the video, but most of all, share it. We've got 7 days, and what happens a week from now is going to impact all of us. I'll catch you in the next one.